Aha, hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Yay, we are live. We are live. So, welcome back. Welcome back to day two of our Path to Happiness series. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Linda G. Robert. G is for Genevieve, by the way. I'm your Back in the Groove Again coach. I'm a travel coach and I'm a travel agent with Travel Only. And whether you're watching me live or in the replay, I'd love it if you would add where you're viewing me from. I'd love to know who's watching and where you're from so that I could say hello to you and say, hey, it's Jen from Arkansas, for example. Now, yesterday we introduced the House of Happiness, and we began exploring the elements of the house that contribute to lasting joy to our happiness. And I talked also about the happiness set point. And of course, I invited you to download the Happy for No Reason questionnaire from my site, lindagrobert.com, happiness hyphen questionnaire. Today, we're focusing on the very foundation, which is taking full responsibility for our happiness. And this step it's really, really important because it empowers us to take control of our joys, to take control of our lives, no matter what life throws our way. So let's start by talking about empowerment. So taking responsibility for your happiness means acknowledging that you are in control. It's about shifting our perspective from external blame to internal power. And when you realize that your responses and your choices shape your happiness, you open up the door to true empowerment. Now, let's talk about the victim mentality. So when we blame others, whether it's people or whether it's situations or whether it's events in the past, past experience for our unhappiness, we hand over the power. But when we take ownership of our emotions, we reclaim that power, right? So imagine someone who always says or frequently says, I'm unhappy because my boss doesn't appreciate me. Or I'm unhappy because my job is too stressful. Or I'm unhappy because there's nothing to do in this town. And I could easily say that, but I don't have a victim. I don't have a victim mindset. So this type of mindset places all the power over the happiness in the hands of their boss or the job circumstances or where they live, for example. They feel stuck and powerless because they believe their well-being is entirely dependent on external factors. So let's contrast that with someone who takes responsibility. So they might say, I'm not feeling appreciated at work, so I'll have a conversation with my boss about my contributions. Or I'll start exploring other opportunities that might align better with my goals. Notice how they're taking responsibility instead of blaming it on others. Or let me look into some of the clubs that are listed in the North Shore newsletter. And that's what I did. So a couple of weeks ago, I was looking through the North Shore area and I noticed that there's an art club that offers stained glass. Right? Because I think, or I used to think, that there's nothing going on in my town, and I'm not blaming the town, but I'm thinking there's nothing going on in the town of Elliott Lake. But that's not true. I decided to look through the North Shore, and there's a lot of classifieds in there. And of course, I noticed that the Art Council was having an open house, and I'm really glad I went. It was their open house a couple of Saturdays ago. I can't remember the date exactly. And I noticed that they have stained glass classes, they have pottery, they have painting classes, like a lot of different classes, which makes it a lot of fun. So I took responsibility, right? In this case, this is a great example. So by shifting the focus of what we can control, we reclaim our power and we take proactive steps towards our own happiness. Now, the course itself hasn't started yet. They were having problems with the heating system, I think. But I gave him my email address and I'll get contacted when the course starts. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. It'll be offered on a Saturday, I believe, at 10 o'clock. And I'm really looking forward to that. I remember doing stained glass many, many years ago. And although I found it tiring and exhausting, I just loved the whole process of it. So this is how I'm decided to kind of take control over my own happiness, right? I'm not a victim. I can't blame the town. This is an example. So these types of examples illustrate how shifting from a victim mentality to a responsible, empowered mindset to a victor mentality, that can transform the way that we approach challenges. Now, I know it's not always easy, but letting go of that victim mentality is liberating. And taking on that victor mentality is liberating, and it is a step towards joy. All right. Now, lastly, adopting an action-oriented mindset is key as well. So don't wait for happiness to come knocking on your door. That's not going to happen. Yeah, you have to go out there and create it yourself. I know we talked about small steps, during our last series. Same thing. Every small action step you take, every choice you make is like laying another brick in your foundation of happiness. The power, it really is in your hands to shape your life. So we've got some journal prompts today, and I'm going to say them slow. And now if you're looking at the replay, you'll be able to stop the video, of course. So here's a journal prompt for you. This is to help you reflect on today's topic. So, number 1, what are some situations where I've been blaming others or circumstances for my unhappiness? And how can I take responsibility instead? So the question is, and I would like you to write it down or to journal about this. The question is, what are some situations where I've been blaming others or circumstances for my unhappiness? And how can I take responsibility instead? That's number 1. Number 2, what small actions can I take today to create more happiness in my life? And how do I typically react to challenges? And how can I respond differently to take ownership of my happiness? So one of the things that I did yesterday, because I'm really trying to eat healthy. So I had signed up for a, what was it called? Healthy eating program. I think it was called plant-based eating with the food revolution. And one of the recipes that I liked a lot was the stew, the red lentil stew. I really liked that recipe. So when I came back from my weekend getaway yesterday, or when I came back, today is Tuesday, when I came back on Sunday, I decided to go grocery shopping. I went to No Frills and I picked up a lot of vegetables. And it was yesterday. I made my stew yesterday. It's really good. Contributes to my well-being and my overall happiness. So because I want to, start eating healthier, and I want to, really reduce carbs, I need to be mindful of what I want, and I need to be mindful of the recipes that are available out there. And so I need to create some very small action steps, right? look at a few other recipes and buy the food that's required to make these new healthier meals for me. So small actions. These are really small actions, but it contributes to my overall well-being, but it also contributes to my overall happiness. Remember, physical well-being, if you're not physically well, you might not be very happy either. All right, so that was question number 2. We're going to go on to question number 3. There it is. Okay, so how do I typically react to challenges? And how can I respond differently to take ownership of my happiness? So how do you normally handle challenges? How do you normally react to challenges? And how could you respond differently to take ownership of your happiness? Right? That's the question. Now, taking responsibility is a game changer. And I know sometimes it does take a while to kind of change our mindset around it, because a lot of us tend to complain and to put the blame on others a lot. But the complaining is a negative type of energy. And we want to expand our energy. Happiness is an expansion of our energy. Complaining is more of a contraction to our level of energy. I want you to notice that when you're complaining about something, you don't feel very energetic, right? But when you turn it around and you say, I'm going to, in this case, I'm taking responsibility for my health, I feel energized, I feel expanded. So it is a game changer. And it's really about embracing the fact that your happiness is in your own hands. That's a fact. So tomorrow we're going to build on this foundation, and we're going to explore the pillars of our soul, your mindset and resilience. Now, of course, to download the Happy for No Reason questionnaire, go to lindagrobert.com/happiness-questionnaire. Thank you again for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I do look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And as always, if you have any questions at all, all right, I'm just looking. Yes, thank you. That's what I need to do, is to eat healthy. Yeah, me too. You know, and it's not that I don't eat healthy. Most of the time I do. But to be honest with you, I want to eat healthier. So it is a constant challenge. So my question to you is, what do you need to do to eat healthier? What's one small step you need to do to eat healthier? For me, it was mostly identifying healthy recipes. I did take that course a while ago, the plant-based course. I took it a while ago, and I revisited some of the lessons yesterday, and revisited some of those recipes yesterday too. Cut the junk food out. You know, yeah, it's one thing to say cut the junk food out, and that's a big thing. In some cases, we might have to reduce the junk food. Like, for example, if you eat junk food every day, that's 7 days a week, instead of eating it 7 days a week, maybe you could cut it back to 3 days a week. I don't know. You decide what's good for you, because sometimes, you know, we want to gradually change our, in this case, eating habits, right? We want to gradually change it. Now, if you're ready to cut them out altogether, great. But if not, then, you know, be gentle on yourself. You know, start small achievable steps. Maybe cutting them back altogether is not going to be doable or feasible for you. So what would be more realistic for you? Maybe it's cutting them back once a week. Again, if you eat junk food every day, right? What is feasible? What is realistic for you? What is something you can definitely achieve? All right. Now, if there are other questions, please add them to the chat box. And it's always nice to see you here. I'm glad that I think it's Hiawatha. I think, I'm not sure because it says H. Davis. Now, I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm not exactly sure. Where do you live? Where are you from? I know you've told me that before, but I'd like you to write it in the chat box if you're still here. Oh, you might not be here right now. All right. So tomorrow, Pillars of the Soul. And tomorrow it's not at 12 noon, it is at 11:15 Eastern Standard Time. So it's a different time. All right. It was nice talking to you again. If it is Hiawatha, H_Davis. Nice to see you again. Talk with you, I should say. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.